I'm sure maybe a few of you might not know the difference between waterproof and water resistant. It definitely has led to some frustration and confusion for me and others, especially if you need a bag to actually keep water out and be fully waterproof. So the time has finally come to answer the question, what makes a bag genuinely waterproof? Let's jump into it. Before we get into it, I just want to mention that this video is supported in part by Surly Bikes. Surly, they make serious steel bikes for people that don't take themselves too seriously. They make bikes that are versatile and durable, that can be dressed up or down for commuting, bike packing, ATVing, gravel grinding, or really whatever you call fun on two wheels. With 15 original dirt-friendly platforms, they offer something that fits just about anyone for any style of riding. So for more about Surly, make sure to hit this card right here, or you can also find a link in the description below. All right, so the common mistake, even by manufacturers, is labeling water-resistant products as waterproof products. While they sound similar, they are indeed two separate things. First off, waterproof means that the design of a particular item is impervious to water, meaning that the fabric and the construction of said product can keep water out even when submerged in water. Water resistance is where a product is good at resisting water penetration, but it can only do so for a time before water eventually does penetrate. So in order to better understand all of this, let's zone in on bike packing bags specifically and talk about the fabrics, the coatings, and the overall construction, as this is definitely one of the more confusing talking points in the bike packing world. All right, so most bags are made from synthetic fabrics or a combination of tightly woven materials designed to block moisture, usually nylon, polyester, or a mix. Many of these fabrics come in layers to give the fabric durability and strength while also blocking out water. A few examples of this Bags by Bird Piccolo is made out of X-Pack, in particular X51, which is a 3-layer construction that is 80% nylon, 20% polyester. X-Pack claims that this material is 100% waterproof thanks to their sandwiched layer of X-Ply. Taking a look at some other options, this right here is the Rockgeist 52HZ frame bag, which is made out of a 420D PU or polyurethane coated nylon. And this right here is the Aeropack, the Tailfin Aeropack, similar construction to the Rockgeist bag. I ended up showing these particular bags because they use two different ways to enhance the water resistance of the fabric. So X-Pack comes with DWR, or durable water repellency, a chemically treated finish that is applied to the outside of the material. DWR does an excellent job of shedding surface moisture, but it could definitely withstand time a little bit better as it can wear out pretty quickly, as quick as a few days with a lot of precipitation. But this is why X-Pack also comes with that X-Ply layer to keep the moisture from entering the bag even after the bag wets out. So the Rockgeist HZ bag has a polyurethane layer on the fabric. It does a tremendous job of keeping water out and generally lasts much longer than DWR, as it is more abrasion resistant than DWR finish. While I'm not 100% sure on what the Tailfin Aeropack is made out of, I'm assuming it's some sort of a nylon because it is welded and it takes thermoplastics to use RF welding. You cannot weld X-Pack. And I think it's worth mentioning waxed canvas. This all-natural, old-school weatherproofing technique involves melting beeswax into cotton duck cloth. This, of course, results in a heavier material, but Logan speaks very highly of its weather resistance, even in downpours. Finally, these bags were also put together differently. So, for instance, the Bag by Bird Piccolo was put together with a sewing machine, a typical way of making all bike packing bags, especially custom ones like custom frame bags. So the Rockgeist 52HZ frame bag and the Tailfin Aeropack were both RF welded, which is a process of utilizing high frequency electromagnetic energy to melt and fuse thermoplastics, in this case nylon, together, creating a strong and durable bond. Plus, I think it looks actually pretty good. So the only real difference between the Rockgeist bag and the Tailfin bag is that the Tailfin bag has a zipper. More on this soon. All right, so even with these 3 bags made out of 2 different types of materials, for the most part, they will keep water out because the fabric itself is built to do so. But the big difference here is not the fabric, but the bag's construction. All right, so if you have a bag that is stitched, even if it is seam sealed, there is a way for water to penetrate into the bag, either when submerged or on a very wet and sloppy trip. Zippers are another item that will not make your bag waterproof. That is, unless you are using a fully waterproof zipper like the tie zip, which we really don't see too much of in the bike packing world or on bike packing bags. We will tend to see something like this, which does not keep water fully out. All right, so this is the deal. These are 3 bags. They're all great, but they are also a little different. The Piccolo is a water-resistant bag because it has that stitching where water can penetrate through. This bag, however, will do a very good job of keeping water out because of its durability with the X51 and that top flap opening. Another upside to the Piccolo here is that it comes with this added liner, which is simply just another barrier to the elements. This was also proven in an extreme downpour last year, and Miles even said it worked very well on a wet Australian trip he went on last month. But it should be noted, despite X-Pack's claim to be a 100% waterproof fabric, we've continually seen this fabric start to leach over time. Whether that's due to sun exposure, wear and tear, or a combination of both, we've experienced both the 3 and 4 layer laminate X-Pack fabric starting to leach on us. So the Tailfin Aero Pack, while RF welded, has zippers that open to the bag's main compartment. Even with a zipper cover, water will penetrate if you, say, drop your bike in a puddle or a creek. And yes, for almost all of my riding, this bag has proved to be highly resistant to any water. And perhaps if they wanted to go fully waterproof, well, they can remove that zipper. I've never really used the zipper anyways, except for purging air out of the roll top system. So yeah, food for thought there. Finally, the Rockize 52HZ is waterproof because it is welded and it does come with that roll top closure. That is when the roll top closure is used properly and there are no holes or issues with that welded seams or those welded seams. And while this bag may be less convenient to access items, this is it if you are looking for something fully waterproof. But do you really need bags that are waterproof like that? And you might be saying, Neil, I'm not so sure I'll ever find myself in a situation where my bike gets that wet. And I hear you. But maybe the best advice I was ever given in life is to expect the unexpected. And no, that advice wasn't in the context of bike packing, but man, does it ever fit, right? That's how I prepare. Never count anything out. I've been on some trips where, you know, we've picked a good weather window, but Mother Nature had her own plans. If anyone watched my recent video on the Hey Joe Safari, well, you'd understand. And being uncomfortable on a bike packing trip can quickly make for a not so enjoyable experience. That's why I really like to have at least one zone on my bike that is waterproof, or at least pretty close. But this only sometimes means needing a waterproof specific bag. A water-resistant bag plus a trash bag can guarantee more protection. Logan also mentions that he likes to use those Ultra-Sil dry bags in conjunction with his water-resistant bike packing bags for those items that really need to stay dry. Now we only really scratch the surface of waterproof versus water resistance because it starts to get a little complicated when discussing layers, particularly rain jackets and pants. Regardless, we're not getting into that today. So the beauty of bike packing bags is that they don't need to breathe like rain jackets or rain pants, making the fabric much more resistant than a jacket per se. All right, so in conclusion here, it is not a waterproof bag if it is not welded or if it also does not come with, say, that tie zip or a roll top closure. That being said, you don't need a fully waterproof bag more often than not, but knowing at least one of your bags can keep all of those elements out is a nice peace of mind. So I would love to hear from you all. What is your go-to method for keeping moisture out? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like what you saw in this video and want to see more, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell, and consider joining the Bikepacking Collective. Support from our members sustains this channel and everything we really do at BIKEPACKING.com. The Collective has a lot of perks, including the twice annual Bikepacking Journal and monthly giveaways, just to name a few. So for more details, click on the card in the top right corner. You can also find a link in the description below. As always, thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, pedal further.